Hi everyone, welcome to the last video on this page from Small Victories by Johanna Basford using the Staedtler Design Journey pencils. Now we are doing our fox here, and I did say I was going to look one up to check what it looked like, just so that I knew, and I have done so, and I think that this end of the tail is usually white and then it goes from black on the bottom up to this sort of red colour, and I think there's some black and white on the face as well, this much pretty much being white. So we'll play around with that as we colour. I'm actually going to start with the black. I've got my number 9 and I'm going to do his nose, but I better come in a bit closer, hadn't I? You might want to be able to see what I'm doing. There we go. So the nose is going to be quite a solid black. So I'm going to do similar to our rabbit, so around the edge in quite a deep dark layer, and then a little bit less on the rest. So we have hopefully what looks like a little bit of a shine on the nose. I just think it looks a little bit cute. Now, chest, this bit's white, okay, and the white continues around the face but not around the eyes and mouth. I'm just having a little look at the pictures. He tends to be a little bit black in part of his ear, so I'm going to put a little bit of black here, there, but this one's got leaves, so I'm going to put a little bit of black there, like that. And also it looks like there's a few black bits of fur. I'm trying to do a sort of furry bit of colouring there, and as I say, the end of the tail looks like it's got some white and black, so I think what I'm going to do is put down lots of black, and then I'm going to use a white pen for my white. So we're going to use white pen on this one. I know we didn't for our rabbit and we left his tail a little bit grey, but there's a lot of black and white on this guy, so I want to do a fair bit. I'm going to do more black strands towards the middle here. I'm not going to do the whole of that bit in white. There he is. Now the chest looks like it's always white. It's the face that I'm trying to look at on my pictures. Now it looks like, yeah, there could be a little bit, sometimes a bit of black above the eye as well, but not very much, and not always. Maybe we'll leave that and do it red, reddish brown, I mean. So I'm going to have a look at my swatch chart to choose. I think the burnt sienna is probably a good one to go for. That is 73. Here he is. Now I'm going to start drawing fur on right away because we want that sort of line effect like this. Now it goes right up here. I'm sort of ignoring that line there. I think it's going to be white under here, but actually I might do it like this and then put the white pen on top. And we have the bit here. Gosh, that made me jump. Did you hear? I don't know if you can hear the dog barking really loudly outside. Oh, made me jump. My niece has got a little dog, but because it's little, it's got quite, it's yappy rather than a deep bark. Yeah, it doesn't scare me. Yeah, again, this bit's going to be white, but I'm going to do it in this colour and then put the white on top. I think it's going to look better. What we'll do though is we'll colour these leaves before we put the white pen on, or else I'm going to end up smudging it everywhere. Yeah, I think the rest of this same colour really. I'm just going to work through. I don't know what type of dog he is. I think she said he was, did she say he was a, definitely part poodle, but I think it's maybe terrier, I'm not sure. But he's got a really little tiny stubby tail. Oh, it's really thin, his tail's really thin, and his fur's quite short, which is quite good. It doesn't shed fur really anywhere, hairs, you know. So that's quite good, because she's not forever having to vacuum up after him. But he's quite mischievous, even though he's getting a little bit older now. He loves ripping paper. So when I saw him last, it was a birthday get-together, and he was allowed to shred some of the paper up, make a mess. I was saying, I asked her, you know, do you think it's the sound? And she said no, she thinks he just likes the feel of it ripping in his teeth, sort of thing. Which, yeah, I can see that. I just coloured over the wrong bit there. I think ripping is quite satisfying, actually. And I asked her if he liked balloons, because, you know, some animals find them really scary. But she said no, he absolutely loves popping balloons. So he's not scared. He doesn't really get scared of thunder and stuff. I think he's just not. I think because he was taken away from his mum a bit too young, he hasn't learnt some of the sort of instinctive fear in the way that some dogs do with thunder and things, fireworks and, you know, all that sort of thing. But he has got separation anxiety, so he can't be left on his own. He just cries. So although my niece goes off to uni and can't take him with her, there's always someone at the house that he can play with, listen to, or just there's noise around, so he's okay. Now I don't think this looks particularly good yet. I'm going to add another colour onto some areas. Don't forget we're going to be using the white pen, so that will make quite a significant difference. But I'm going to use this number 7 to add some areas of darker colour. So I'm thinking here that I could transition between this black and the lighter colour on the ear, and the same in here. I'm going to put a little bit at the bottom of there. And then this is going to be white, isn't it? But around the eye, maybe we'll go a little bit darker, just around the eye. And it'll look like it's a little bit set in. And then I'm thinking maybe on the back here. He's quite fat, isn't he? Floofy. To just put my my tablet back off Foxy Pictures, so that in case my boys get in touch with me, they're unlikely to. They might let me know when they're leaving, so I can get the kettle on. Right, we shall leave that there and do our leaves and grass, and then come back. Now we have these quite long grasses here, so we can do a few different colours on that, which I think will be fun. I'm going to do greens though here, so I'm going to start with 579, which is our green earth, and do the lower parts with this. And then we'll fade it. You can see I'm fading it off a bit so that I can put another colour in. Now I see I've accidentally left this bit, which probably should be fur, but I think it's just going to be easier to colour it in green as if it's a bit of grass tucked in behind. I'm going to do that. Next I'm going to use the 57, which is our olive green, and just extend that area a little bit further. And then lastly, the 56. Oh, going a little bit out of shot, aren't we? I'm going to go right to the tip with this one. I'm going over everything because it's got quite a lot of yellow in this colour, so it adds a nice vibrant touch to the whole thing, which I rather like. I do like my yellowy tones, even though I find yellow scary to colour with. I do like it added in with other things. Okay, excuse me. We've got two different looking leaves here, so I'm just going to start one 76, so with the dark brown to start with at the base. I could do it brown in the middle, but I think I'm just going to do it brown from the bottom. It's not only is it easier, but I've done all the others the same way. I'm going to fade it up like that. If I suddenly change how I'm doing it, it's going to look very strange, I think. And I'm going to use this, the 260, which is our mauve or Tuscan red, to finish this one off. So I'm going to go over what I've done a little bit and take that colour right to the tip. This isn't really a brown leaf anymore. It looks more like a copper beech, something like that. Maybe it's not quite purpley enough for a copper beech. But anyway, there it is. This one would do a little bit differently. Yeah, I'll start with a lighter colour. So I'm going to start with the 49, which I think is our fawn, and pop some colour in here. It is similar to our foxy colour, but it will transform in a moment when I put some golden ochre number 16 on top. There we go. So you can see they look quite different, which is what I was trying to achieve. Now I have this one up here, and I think I might go for a more reddish colour. I'm going to use the Indian red, I think. I'm going to give it a sharpen, and I'm only going to use one colour because it is quite small. Excuse me. So 722, but I'm going to try to put a little more in the end here and less towards our tip. Now I can really see where I've missed with our foxy colour, but we can come back and do a bit more after. There's no harm in that. It may very well need a little bit more work anyway. And this one here, I coloured over some of the leaves by mistake, so it needs to be a nice dark colour so you don't notice. So that's my plan next, is to find a nice dark, probably a brown, to colour over that so you can't tell that I messed it up. What have we got? We'll do the 77. Whoops. Just picking up a grey by mistake. Here we go, 77. I'm going to start up here so I can work out what I'm doing. So that is a leaf and that is a leaf. That's it. I'm pretty much just blocking this in. There we go. What was that line there then? I don't know. But I think it's that. There we are. Right, now got this sort of one going over here. I think we could use a little bit of brown and a little bit of green maybe on this one. So I'm going to start with 703. The 703 is the Rosewood, it's called. It's going to be quite similar to our foxy colour probably. don't think it matters if some of them are similar really, but once I get my green, hopefully the tips will stand out. So I'm going to use a, let me just have a quick look. I think I'll use this sap green on the tips. Here it is, 52, is that the sap green? Yeah. Just trying to sort of blend it back in a bit. I think leaves tend to change the other way, to be honest. I think the brown, that looks horrible. The brown tends to be on the tip. That is vile. Right, we're going to change that. We are going to colour over the top of that green with number 76, because that looks gross. That's better. Ew. I don't know why it looks so horrible. I think it's because it had a sort of fluorescence to it. I don't know why it looked sort of neon-y. Just nasty. Hopefully that's a bit better. It looks a bit dirty now, but it's better than it looked, I think. I think so anyway. Right, we need some orange, I think. I'm going to grab this number 4, which is our orange. And I might do all of these the same. And then a number 11 for the tips. I'm going to put the 11 over all of it. I think it'd be easier to blend it then. Oh, that's vibrant, just like fire. Nice. Right. I'm going to do these now. I think I'm going to use this colour. This is number 19, which is the dark ochre. I'm just going to do the base with these. I haven't thought about what I'm doing for the tip quite yet. I might just do the light ochre, which means, oops, we need to blend it out quite well, because the light ochre is quite pale. And work through. So light ochre is number 17. And we'll just do the tips. Blend it back down, because it's quite yellowy, but a sort of almost a wax yellow. I would say, like in Tombows, we've got wax yellow. A bit brighter than Tombow though. In the ear, I'm wondering whether to just do a green. I think I will. This is number 5. I'm going to use number 5 on those. They're quite small, so I'm just going to use the one colour. There we go. Oh, I missed the tip. There we are. Now this set here, whoops, we can, I think I want to do some more orange. I think I'm going to have to do them here, not next to those oranges, so I'm going to do that next. This is number 24. So it is November the 5th today, recording this, which has 3 different names in England. It's called Guy Fawkes Night, Bonfire Night, and what's the other name? Bonfire Night, Guy Fawkes Night, Fireworks Night, 42. So what happens is that people have bonfires and fireworks, and so it's going to be really noisy, and I expect it will be foggy tomorrow. It's very foggy the day after. And it's a tradition in the UK, because I've told this story before, of the blowing up of Parliament. It didn't actually happen, 72, but Guy Fawkes tried to blow up the House of Parliament by putting explosives in the cellar. And so we celebrate is not the right word, too. Maybe we're celebrating the fact the king didn't die. I'm not sure, but we remember it every year by having bonfires and fireworks. Now, a lot of people do their displays on a weekend, which makes perfect sense because, you know, it's usually little children and school night and need to go to bed early and things like that. So that can happen a lot of the time, but not always. 43. And there are some organised events as well that you pay to go into, and those usually take place on a weekend as well for the same sorts of reasons, school night and all that sort of thing. So there were a few over the weekend around the local area. I'm going to do these yellow, like bright yellow, 110. And but tonight I expect it'll be noisy, but apparently we might be able to see the Northern Lights tonight, but I don't know. I am going to do some more strokes of colour before I use my white pen, so I'm going back to my 73, and because now I've done the detailing, I can see the areas that look a bit sparse with regards to fur, so I'm going to put some more in, and then we'll use our white pen. Ooh, break the end of the pencil. But I do remember having a firework display when I was very young, and a lot of my cousins were all older than me. I'm the youngest. My mum and my dad were both the youngest children in their family. So anyway, one of my cousins and two of my cousins, I'm guessing, my dad did a little firework display for me and my sister, and my aunt and my mum stayed with us just inside. We stayed inside our conservatory, and they were at the end of the garden, and it faced into the garden, so we could see perfectly well. And they had a little box of fireworks and set them off. It was lovely fun, I remember. I rather like the sort of small sized fireworks that you can only see from the ground. You know, you can't use them for big displays because you wouldn't see them, but you know, little Roman candles and something fountains and something, oh, what is it called, I can't remember, and things like that. It was such fun. And the sort of traffic lights ones where a sort of ball bounces up of red and then amber and then green and things like that. The Catherine wheels go round and round on a stake. And yeah, it was such fun. Never did it after or since, so it's a real memory. Right, number 8, let's start doing, so the end of the tail is white, so we're going to start there. Now what you'll find is you'll need more than one layer of white pen to get enough fur, I expect. And what you'll need to do is let it dry and then reapply. I'm going to try and layer up a little bit, but if you go over the top of a bit you've done before, it will just erase it. So, but the aim is to leave some of the colour underneath showing, or else you can't see that there's a fur effect going on. I can't remember how to do this. Let's find the picture again. Right. Oh yeah, all this is white under here, isn't it? That's right. Now you want to do short, patient strokes, because you need to think about how long the fur is going to be. It's going to be really teeny. I mean, the strokes I'm doing are still way too big for the size of the... I'm just going to scribble my pen for the size of the fox. I haven't seen a fox for a while. Sometimes see them around. It's usually badgers we get around here and rats. Ugh. Don't like seeing those, that's for sure. Okay, so I think it's all around here that's white, but I want to try and keep that mouth line and not go over it, but I think it's going to be a little bit tricky. I'll do the best I can. You could do a few strokes of white in the main part of the body if you want to, but I think I'm only going to concentrate on doing it on the sort of tail, chest and the lower bit of the face. Now, if you cover over all of your black, then it would just look white. It might just disappear. Leaving a few bits of black in here allows you to see the strokes of the fur. Now, I'm trying not to overlap the leaves. You can. It's completely up to you whether you want it to look like the fur is overlapping the leaves or whether you would rather it not. I'm covering that black part a little bit. I want it to still look black, but just covering it a bit. Now I'm looking at my photos. Sometimes a little bit on the top of the ears or head. I don't know what this line is, but I think I'll just leave it there. There, I think I am done. Yeah, there we go. There is our fox. He's looking very autumnal. So, hang on, let's just move my pencils and I can show you the whole page. This is just 4, but all looking quite autumny. There we go. I might actually take this paper out. There we go. You can see it better now. Without the paper, I think the desk forms a better frame than the white piece of paper. So there it is. So thank you very much for watching. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Please do like and subscribe and comment if you can. And thank you to those that already have. Have a great day and happy colouring.